We at work.
At work.
We got a job.
Fucking right.
The motherfucking ICE department done rounded up all these motherfucking Hispanics and Latinos, and the chicken plants is empty. Desperate. I get 40 texts a day. How many you got, 40?
Shit, just about.
In the last couple of days, they done rounded their ass up. They need somebody. They need somebody to come work in these chicken plants, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most evilest things I've seen in my life. They are using literally undocumented people to do the job, and suddenly, once they got arrested, ring, 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 come back. I might pay you now a decent wage, not like the other people I tried to use for a lower salary.
Now I get it.
That's like the bully that never wanted to be your friends, and then his best friend got deported. And now suddenly he wants to be your friend. And you don't think they're taking advantage? Chicken processing plants owners willfully used illegal workers. Investigators behind the biggest immigration raid in a decade relied on informants inside the plant and data from electronic monitoring bracelets.
Or do I have my facts wrong?
Jackson Miss, 6 of 7 Mississippi chicken processing plant raided Wednesday were willfully and unlawfully employing people who lacked authorization to work in the United States, including workers wearing electronic monitoring bracelets at work for previous immigration violation, according to unsealed court documents. Bopolaki neck. Bopolaki. Don't make me speak my native language. You see a guy, hey, I want a job. Look. Click, click, click.
Congratulations. You got yourself a job.
But I can't respect when somebody is abusing a person and disguising it as empathetic.
Directo a la frontera. Nada de firmar papeles. Así nomás de rápido. Es loco, pero es cierto.
At 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning, Juan Peña encountered the Border Patrol in Perris, California, where he has lived undocumented for 24 years. By noon, he had been deported to Mexico.
Any company that uses the laws to pay you less sometimes make you work and actually don't even give you the human right that they're supposed to give any citizen. And over 24 years, they can just fire back, and never really help you. I think that is the definition of cancer. I'm part of your body, but I'm not helping you. But I want to live.
Llevé a mi niña a la escuela y me encorté con la Border Patrol y pues aquí estoy. Me dejaron que la dejara en la escuela y de ahí me persiguieron. Directo a la frontera. ¿Qué serán? Como unas 4 horas. Se acaba en un abrir y cerrar de ojos. Hoy tienes, mañana no tienes.
Juan fell victim to the ongoing immigration raids happening across the United States, which are able to deport people so quickly given President Trump's nationwide expansion of the expedited removal policy, previously used only in the border regions, which allows authorities to bypass migration courts and move straight to deportation.
Nada de firmar papeles. Ellos están llegando a lugares de la escuela, en las calles, tiendas, trabajo. Está muy feo.
While all undocumented migrants in the United States are currently subject to removal, the initial raids are appearing to target those with criminal histories.
Yo tenía un problema antes con ellos y tal vez podían irme a buscar. Y me encontraron. Tienes todo en el país donde estás y llegas a México como... Pues no como un perro, ¿verdad? Pero te sientes como, pues no valgo nada.
In his first week in office, Donald Trump has already more than doubled the daily rate of immigration arrests. The Latino community in the US is struggling.
Espantada. La gente no sale a los trabajos porque en cualquier lugar está migración. Varias gentes que vienen de allá, mucha gente viene. No nomás yo, vienen muchísimas personas.
I really want to be empathetic. Because if somebody sends me back without my daughter and I feel kind of lost because I lost almost everything, it's sad. But I find it odd that in 24 years, you could have not fixed anything. That is the only thing that I find rather weird. Venga, dilo, remember to subscribe.
Remember to subscribe? ¿Por qué?
How many illegal immigrants being deported by the new administration would you find objectionable? Mr. Melnick, I'll ask you. 1 million?
I think 1 million would be a disaster.
2 million?
I think that is enough that would have severe negative ramifications.
I'm not reading what Trump intends to do. I'm reading exactly what President Barack Obama did. So you said President Obama was immoral and inappropriate to deport those 1 million people. Is that what I heard you say?
There were many people
it's
that were
a
deported
yes, no
under his
question.
administration.
Look, I would really appreciate it if you would go out and say that President Obama did a horrible disservice to those people he deported, and he's as wrong-minded as every other Republican who said we've got to secure the border, deport people, because you can't have one being okay and the other one not being okay.
Hypocrisy, my friend.
When we're talking about immigration and we're talking about immigrants who may be criminals, you're talking about them being arrested. Let's have due process. But if it takes too damn long to address it, that pisses people off. That's one of the problems that exist in this country. You're looking at stuff and you're like, okay, you arrested him. Was he in jail? All right, you let him out. Recidivism is an issue in this country. You let somebody, you arrest them, you're letting them out the same day, stuff like that. You got law enforcement officials that are getting discouraged because they're looking at it and they're saying, wait a minute, why are we out here risking our life and taking care of this stuff when y'all are just letting people out? You got to handle business. And a lot of times we hear about the red tape and all of that stuff, and you're talking about a candidate right now who's not supposed to be the president of the United States now. He's sitting up there and he's talking about expediting the process at every turn. Let's just get stuff done. Let's just get it done. Now, I don't know if I trust that. I don't blame you for not trusting it. But we have to understand the American people are saying, you know what, enough's enough. We've tried it that way. We've been doing it that way for decades. We sick of y'all. Let's wait. Let's go through the process. Let's arrest somebody. Let's let them out. Let's put them back out on the streets. Oh, let's make sure they have due process. You think somebody wants to hear about due process with somebody that's in this country illegally? They want to hear that. You in the country illegally. Hell with your process. Yeah. You got the audacity to admit a crime after you got here illegally? We ain't trying to hear that. Nobody's trying to hear that. So they're saying, wait a minute, what are you going to do about it? Where is the common sense in that?
A lot of people were empathetic, but you took too long trying to be empathetic, and when they called the failure of being too empathetic, you never wanted to address it. So I'm going to vote for somebody that processes it faster. And then maybe later we can think about what we could have done better.
Build your house. Look at the fuck out of here. Come do this shit then. Look at the fuck build your house. Look at the fuck do your streets. Come get it, bitch.
A few moments later.
You're fired!
Hey man, it's your choice to do something illegal, but the idea that you're like, you know what, I can broadcast this with no consequence? I don't know, man. Why?
But here's what I'm getting at. This oversight committee, of all the things that they want to have sight over, they should look at the White House right now. That White House is being ran in one of the most raggedy forms of government that I've ever seen. If anybody is questioning whether or not what our country would look like had the Confederacy won, there should be no question now. They want us to be afraid. Do not be afraid, Chicago. Whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, I'm always going to stand up for the interests of working people. And I will not be intimidated by some weak individual who won't stand up to an individual who believes he's a supreme being right now. You're worried about Chicago? Look in your front yard. We have a president right now who is obfuscating his responsibilities that should be very clear based upon the Constitution. He is rejecting the Constitution of the United States of America. And if they want to have a real discussion about undocumented individuals who are criminals, they should look at the very individuals who enslaved my people and colonized this land.
Here we go again.
So whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, the people of Chicago would not be intimidated or threatened by any individual who is unwilling to look in their own front yard of where the real threat to our democracy lies. Thank you all very much.
The president is obfuscating his responsibility. The president.
Tom Homan showed up in Chicago and within 24 hours found a convicted sex offender who has been living in our city since 2009, flouting the sex offender registry. If he can do this, why can't you?
Because that's their job. That is their job. The federal
Their
government
job's not to keep
has
the
a
people of Chicago
responsibility
safe.
to make sure that individuals who are undocumented, who have been charged with, convicted of a crime, it is the federal government's responsibility to do their part and uphold the law. I'm always going to stand up for the interests of working people. Our local police department, along with our public health department, along with our other sister agencies, are working to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago. And as we've stated repeatedly, those critical investments, you continue to see the results of those investments as violent crime continues to fall in Chicago. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's like somebody trying to rob my son, and my son asks me, why didn't you protect me? I can say it's not my job. It's the responsibility of the police.
We don't even yet know the names of the 67 people who were killed, and you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control and seemingly the member of the U.S. military who was flying that Black Hawk helicopter. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people, you mean the names of the people that are on the plane, you think that's going to make a difference? They are a group of people that have lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question. I'm surprised coming from you.
And a lot of people are saying Trump just called her stupid. I don't think he called her stupid. Just very disingenuous.
2 million low-income Americans, 1 in 5 of us, don't have access to health care today because Trump has temporarily blocked all funding to Medicaid.
If you want to find this video, you can't, because Dean deleted it after just straight up lying to his viewers. Assistance to individuals won't be affected, including Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, and might I add Medicaid as well, because I have it and well I can still fucking use it. In this video, he decides to tell MAGA to do some research before having to shamefully delete the video because he didn't do the research himself. Come on, Dean, you post like once every 5 days now that the election's over. You have to be better than this.
Isn't it interesting they make a video like they care, but then they delete the video like they care?
Don't get me wrong, ako sa kita bong, puta fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam turloqueta verdeta welcome.